Hello everyone and welcome to my channel called Demon Storytime. Thank you so much you guys for coming, for your likes, for your comments, for your donations, for your shares. Any kind of support is appreciated. Thank you so much for coming. Today we continue reading this lovely book called Grimm's Fairy Tales. And our story, we made it through more than a half, I think now. Wicked Witches stories we are starting now. Wicked Witches. Yeah, our story will be called Rapunzel, I think. Oh yes, I was right. Once there lived a man and a woman who were expecting their first baby. How lovely. They lived in a little house which overlooked a beautiful garden full of flowers and herbs and vegetables. However, they never dared go near the garden, for it did not belong to them. It belonged to a witch. One morning, the woman was standing at her bedroom window, looking down into the witch's garden, when she saw a bed of delicious looking salad. It looked so fresh and green that she wished with all her heart that she could eat some. Every day her longing for the salad grew until she found it hard to think of anything else. She became pale and miserable, and her husband began to worry that she may die. So he made up his mind to get her some. That night he climbed over the wall of the witch's garden, grabbed a handful of salad, and hurried back to his wife. She thought it was the most delicious thing she had ever tasted, but of course it made her desperate for more. So the next night her husband crept back over the wall again. To his horror, there was the witch. So she hissed, pointing her bony finger at the man. You are the one who has been stealing my salad? Trembling, the man explained about his sick, pregnant wife. Ah, I see, said the witch, softening. In that case, take as much salad as you wish, but I have one condition. You must give me your child when it is born. The man began and pleaded with the witch and offered everything else that he and his wife had, but the witch refused. Yeah. The man knew the witch could do powerful magic, so he promised her what she wanted and fled back home. Weeks passed, and the man took salad for his wife every day. Then came the time when she gave birth to their child, a baby girl. The witch appeared out of thin air, picked up the child, and said, I will take good care of her. Then she disappeared. How lovely. The witch called the baby Rapunzel. She wanted Rapunzel to herself, so she brought her up in a high tower in the middle of a huge forest, far from everything and everyone. The tower had no door or stairs, just a little window at the top, so the witch had to magic herself in and out. Shut away from the world, Rapunzel grew into a good, beautiful girl. By the time she was 12, her golden hair had grown so long and thick that she could braid it and let it down out of the window like a rope for the witch to climb up and down. But there was no way for Rapunzel herself to leave the tower. How unfair! Here is the tower and Rapunzel's hair and the witch climbing the tower. One morning, when Rapunzel was 18, a king's son was riding through the forest. When he heard someone singing so sweetly that he followed the sound, it led him to the tower, for the voice was Rapunzel's. The prince rode around trying to find a way in, but of course there was no door. He sank down by a tree, very disappointed that he would not be able to see the singer. While the prince sat listening, the witch arrived. She didn't notice the prince and strode to the bottom of the tower and cried out, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." The golden braid came trembling out of the window, and the witch climbed up and went inside. Thought the prince. Now I see how it's done. And he led his horse quietly away through the forest. The prince waited till evening, then hurried back to the tower. "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair," he cried, trying to sound like the witch. To his delight, the golden braid came tumbling out of the window, and he climbed up and sprang inside. Poor Rapunzel was terrified. After all, she had never seen anyone but the witch before. However, the prince spoke to her very gently and smiled so kindly that she lost her fear. Yeah, where's the frying pan? The couple talked and laughed, and before the sun rose, they had fallen in love. Oh, come on, can't be that fast. The prince hurried away before the witch arrived, for she always came back in the morning. But he promised to return that very night, and so he did, and the next night and every night after that. Every time the prince took with him a skein of silk, for he and Rapunzel had made a plan to run away together. She used the silk to begin weaving a long ladder. When it was ready, Rapunzel would be able to climb down from the tower too. When the prince would whisk her away on his horse, for out of the witch's reach. Days went by, and Rapunzel's secret ladder grew longer and longer. But one day, while talking to the witch, she completely forgot herself. You are so slow to climb. The prince is much quicker, she explained. Oh my god, she gave out the secret. You are so slow to climb. The prince is much quicker, she exclaimed. The witch guessed at once what was happening, and she was furious. She grabbed a pair of scissors and cut off Rapunzel's braid. Then she magicked the girl far away into an empty desert. Only days. The witch tied Rapunzel's braid to a hook above the tower window. By and by she heard the prince's voice calling, Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair. And she let the golden braid tumble to the ground. The prince climbed up the braid and there was the witch. Aha! She cried. Now I've got you, and you will never see Rapunzel again. As the witch began to cast an evil spell on the prince, he leaped out of the tower window. A thick bed of thorn bushes cushioned his fall, so he was not killed, but he was seriously hurt. Ouch. The sharp thorns pierced his eyes and left him blind for days. To the prince, the pain of losing Rapunzel was even worse than the pain of losing his eyes. That's horrible. The poor young man stumbled off through the forest, broken-hearted. And so the prince wandered over the countryside, living off nuts and berries for more than a year, until at last he came to the desert where Rapunzel had been banished and abandoned. The girl could not believe her eyes when she saw him. He was blind and dirty and wretched, but he was her beloved prince. Oh my god. Rapunzel threw her arms around him, crying tears of joy, and as her tears fell onto the prince's eyes, they cleared. Are you serious? He could see once more. Finally, he led Rapunzel back to his kingdom, where they lived happily ever after. Well, well, well. And to the end, it was happy ending. That's it, my dears. I'll show you the picture. Here. They made it through all the weird stuff. Yeah. That's it, my dears. See you next time. Bye.